Policeman shot and injured along Maxwell Avenue. A policeman was disarmed and shot by a lone gunman yesterday afternoon along Maxwell Avenue in St. Andrew. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent treatment. The roadway was cornered off in the vicinity of Balmoral and Cargill Avenues. A search is still underway for the shooter. Police constable on murder charge granted $400,000 bail. Police Constable Daniel Hall was on Monday placed before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Courts on a charge of murder. He was granted $400,000 bail with surety. Reporting conditions were also imposed. Hall is charged in relation to the June 4, 2021 fatal shooting of Stephen Brown on the Irish Town Main Road in St. Andrew. The charge was a result of an investigation by the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom and a ruling by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The matter was adjourned to be transferred to the gun court on February 23rd. St. Elizabeth man charged over fatal shooting at dance. The police in St. Elizabeth have charged a man for the shooting death of another at a dance in Union Square last December. 30-year-old Davian Brown, otherwise called Boom Don, who was listed as a person of interest, is charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. Brown is charged with the shooting death of 24-year-old Lennox Leachman, alias Jason, and Post on December 8, 2023. The police report that Brown and Leachman were among patrons at a party at Union Square when the accused reportedly got into an argument with persons over stone throwing. He reportedly slapped one of the men. The police say Brown was accosted by the now deceased and other patrons. Reacting, he reportedly pulled a firearm from his waistband, pointed it at Leachman, and fired several shots. He was rushed to the Black River Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Brown was later brought in by his lawyer where he was arrested. He was subsequently charged after being questioned. The car lifted up like a plane. A witness recounts Negril Bridge crash. A man who says he witnessed a theatre vaxxer plunge into the river in Negril, Westmoreland on Tuesday has likened the car accident to a plane crash. The accident, which happened at 2 a.m., left 2 passengers nursing injuries. The alleged eyewitness, street vendor Linval Happy Reed, claimed that the speeding was the cause of the accident. From the front end hit the soft shoulder, the car lifted up like a plane and coming at the river, the man told reporters. Last night, me on the highway coming down and this car passed me full rev. It's like him a speed and brake. Him realized him speeding and can't control it. Him didn't make it cross the bridge, he recounted, as he searched the crash site. Meanwhile, Area 4 Commander for Little London and Negril Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP Mitchell said the driver of the vehicle was found at hospital on Tuesday afternoon. We have since identified the driver, and that person was taken to hospital later in the morning by another person, Mitchell told reporters. Mitchell is also urging the driver to report to the police once he is released. So we are waiting for the driver to come to Negril Police Station so we can further have an investigation, Mitchell advised. The top lawman is also warning commuters who frequent the thoroughfare to be extremely cautious. We are advising pedestrians who use the bridge because both sides of the bridge do not have pedestrian walk, but we ask them that when you're traversing the area to be particularly careful, he urged. Alleged serial thief charged following robbery spree in Trelawney. A man accused of being a serial thief was arrested and charged following several robberies beginning on Tuesday, January 2nd on Duke Street in Falmouth, Trelawney. Charged with shop breaking and larceny is 28-year-old Giovanna McGregor, otherwise called Fogo, of Jonestown, Falmouth in the parish. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about midnight on January 2nd, the complainant locked up his business establishment and left. Upon his return, routine checks were made and McGregor was seen on CCTV footage using an object to pry open a poker box from which he reportedly stole $15,000. During another incident on Wednesday, January 3rd, McGregor was allegedly captured on video stealing 12 liquor crates valued over $10,000. The following day, the accused was allegedly seen breaking into a gaming lounge where he pried open 3 poker boxes, causing an estimated damage of $60,000. On Sunday, January 7, about 2:30 p.m., the complainant made a report to the police. While the complainant gave his statement, McGregor turned himself into the police and was pointed out by the complainant, the police stated. McGregor was subsequently arrested and charged following a question and answer interview. His court date is being finalized. Union and Health Ministry meet as some NPHL and blood bank workers remain off the job. A meeting with representatives of the Health Ministry and the union representing workers at the National Public Health Laboratory and National Blood Transfusion Services Blood Bank went underway in a bid to resolve worker grievances relating to allegations of mistreatment by senior staff. Some upset workers took industrial action, saying the situation has been ongoing for some time and they are fed up. General Secretary of the Union of Technical Administrative and Supervisory Personnel, St. Patrice Ennis, stated the most recent incident occurred on the weekend. He noted that the affected workers had on previous occasions written to the ministry about the issue. He said the workers want the health ministry to intervene and address their concerns. In response to the industrial action, the ministry mobilized resources to carry out emergency services. It is collaborating with private facilities and individuals, public hospitals with lab services, and the Jamaica Defense Force to carry out the functions. The ministry said it was not advised of the industrial actions by workers. Meanwhile, a meeting that was scheduled for yesterday involving the Finance Ministry and the Umbrella Trade Union was put off, but no due date has been set. The Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, said the meeting was intended to facilitate discussion on several outstanding issues for public sector workers, mainly those in central government entities. JCTU President St. Patrice Ennis explained that these issues include traveling allowance, uniform, and overtime.
This is a case because of the ongoing toxic relationship. And this has been ongoing for some time. The latest incident occurred over the weekend. Staff member was berated and being really insulted in earshot of other members of staff. In another confrontation with a senior member of staff, again in the earshot of subordinates of that very senior staff member, a coordinator to be exact. Those incidents, that latest incident exacerbated the situation, and the workers took the position that they cannot go on in this kind of environment, being constantly berated, being constantly insulted. It has been made, and they keep on saying that they are not aware. If they're constantly not aware of what is happening with their employees, then what purpose do they serve? Of course, they were written to by the very said staff member about the incident. The latest incident, the one which I spoke about on Monday morning, may not have been apprised of. But that is just the latest in a series of incidents which they are very much aware of. And with every other issue and matter, they seem to be well informed. To say that they are not aware, I don't take that information seriously. Myself, together with colleague trade unionists that form the negotiating team, should have been engaged at this time in a meeting with the ministry, the Minister of Finance and his team regarding outstanding matters within the public sector. And this would have concerned mainly the central government employees, but in the entire public sector, which is over 100. It would have affected all of them, but primarily central government employees. This would have affected, as it would be treating on matters such as the increment, outstanding, uniform, overtime, all of those things that have not been finally resolved, things that deal with subsistence, traveling allowance, matters like those which should have been discussed today, but this meeting was postponed and to be rescheduled. So the meeting that we spoke of did not take place, and we are to reconvene on that matter.
Vols Stores Halfway Tree Transport Center observed changes following fare reduction implementation. Darrell Vols, Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, visited the Halfway Tree Transport Center on Monday to observe operations since the implementation of reduced fares. The start of the new calendar year marked a decrease in bus fares at the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC. On November 21, the Jamaican government announced a reduction in the JUTC fare from $100 to $70, a decrease in the fare for children from $30 to $25, and for pensioners from $40 to $30, which took effect on January 1, 2024. Further reductions are scheduled for April 1, 2024, with the regular fare dropping from $70 to $50. Fares for children will be reduced from $25 to $20, and pensioners' rate from $30 to $25. The reductions are part of measures to curtail the impact of the increase in public passenger vehicles PPV fares on the overall inflation rate. Accompanied by Managing Director of the JUTC, Paul Abrams, Chairman of the Transport Authority, Owen Ellington, Managing Director of the Transport Authority, Ralston Smith, and other officials from the JUTC, as well as the Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunication and Transport, Minister Valls, said he wanted to see what the situation was like at the transport center and actually travel on a bus to see exactly what the experience is. According to a release on Monday, the minister highlighted that he saw several challenges that urgently needed to be addressed, including the availability of buses and the long wait time for commuters. Citing that the route on which he traveled could take up to 1.5 hours on way, Voss said he recognized that commuters were at a major disadvantage. It makes no sense blaming anybody. The responsibility is mine and the team that I am gathering here with, and therefore I have to take it and deal with it, the minister stated, reiterating his commitment to getting 100 of the 300 buses procured so far on the road as soon as June. I asked the commuters today on the bus that I traveled on to give me 6 months. The bottom line is I understand the urgency. I hear and feel the frustration of the old, the young, the female, mother, grandmother, everybody that was on the bus today. And as I said before, I understand, he stated. Today was an eye-opener for me. The half and the hour that I spent on the bus, I experienced what I needed to experience, and that is going to give me even more of the commitment and the urgency to make changes and to get the buses that are required here so that people can travel in an efficient, comfortable, safe environment. That is the least that as a government I can do and a country that we can do for its taxpayers. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.